As a child, I had always enjoyed completing word searches, wasting hours looking for words on paper. But now, I wanted more. Something harder, something bigger, something the internet couldn't offer me with its little size limits. So I decided to build my own, and because I like things nice and quick, I chose C as my language of choice. I wanted my program to take in the name of a file containing all the words to place in the word search and the size of the grid. To keep things simple, the word search will be square shaped and the program will save it to a file. With this in mind, I got to coding. I defined limits to allow a maximum of 100 words with a maximum length of 50 characters per word. Words should be able to go up, down, left, right, and along each diagonal. So I created a 2D array where each row represents one of these directions. In my main function, I used command line arguments to read in the file and grid size. I then used the grid size to dynamically allocate a single chunk of memory to the word search grid. Since this is technically a 1D array, I cannot use double indexing, but can instead treat it like a 2D array by using the following expression for the index. I chose this method over the double pointer method as it is concise, allocates a single contiguous memory block, and only requires one call to free. I also declared a 2D array to hold the words from the file constrained to the limits I defined earlier. Next, I created a bunch of useful functions, starting with a function to initialize the grid to contain dots only, which will help when placing the words and filling the word search with random characters. I then made a function to read all the words from the file into my words array, convert them to uppercase, and return the total number of words to add to the word search. Then came the important part, placing the words in the grid. For this, I decided on a randomized algorithm, which takes the word search grid, the grid size, and a word, and first checks that the length of the word is not bigger than the grid itself. If that passes, it then has 1,000 attempts to try and place the word in the grid.
Each attempt starts by choosing a random location in the grid and a random direction.
It then tries placing the word in the grid, letter by letter. For each letter, it checks that the position is within the bounds of the grid. If it is not, it moves on to the next attempt. If the position is within the grid, it then checks that the current grid position is a dot, meaning it has not been filled by a letter from another word. If it's not a dot, it then checks if the current grid position contains a matching letter from another word, which would allow the words to intersect. Therefore, if the current grid position is not a dot and the letter in that position does not match the current letter from the word, then it is an invalid placement and it moves on to the next attempt. However, if it passes these checks, then it is a valid placement and we commit the word to the grid. After the hard bit was done, I wrote a function to fill the remaining spots with random letters, and a function to write the finished word search to a file. To finish off, back in main, I seeded the random number generator and called all the functions in the appropriate order. Then all that was left was to grab a bunch of words and generate my 1,000 by 1,000 grid word search, which looked a little something like this. Thanks for watching everyone. I'll leave the full source code in the comment section below, which includes some additional error checking. Until next time, keep coding.